Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to See If It Sticks. It's Monday, so this is the rootin' tootin' news that sticks.
Ding, 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 ding.
We haven't done one of these in a while.
No, we haven't. No. Just in case any of you have forgotten us, I am Dan.
I'm Dom.
I'm Ross.
And I'm Dean.
Oh!
Special guest Dean is back.
4-part harmony, baby.
That was nice. I really enjoyed that. I felt
Better
like,
than the one we did on Thursday.
yes, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, the one on Thursday, I believe.
One of you was flat.
Yeah,
It sounds better in the shower, though.
yeah, it does.
Maybe we should set up a shower in here to get a bit better acoustics.
We could record in the shower.
Do some Howard Stern
Yeah.
stuff.
We could each have our own cubicle. That way, neither of us can feel bad about our manhood. And then
I don't.
We can just blow our genitals out.
I don't mind feeling bad
to
about
each
my
other.
manhood. I'm comfortable feeling bad about my
Just
manhood.
get a piece of frosted glass. It'll look the same.
Oh, that's true. Have a bit of frosted glass over our nether regions.
That's not going to stop me looking at you guys in the shower, though.
Well, we'll be in different cubicles.
Does it work with your dick's pressed up against the glass? Does it?
Windmilling around.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to help with my little acorns tickling your leg.
God damn.
Yes, this is the news that sticks. We're bringing you the hottest news, and it really is hot this week.
Oh.
This is
Shall I turn down the lights and go, wow? I've been living a lie, baby.
well. This news article this week combines a couple of things which are kind of, I think, possibly polar opposite in terms of things that people enjoy.
Yes.
So, thing that people enjoy, thing that people do enjoy is orgasming.
Yes.
I
I've
would
heard
say
it's-
yes. I
I've
would
heard
enjoy
it's
that.
really fun.
Yeah.
Well, let me try this.
Tip top.
Tippy top.
Let's try
The
this
bee's
one on the
knees.
size then. Do you like orgasming as much as you like waking up in the morning?
Oh, no. I don't
Oh,
like
no,
waking up in the
everyone
morning.
likes
No.
orgasming more than they like waking up in the morning.
Well, okay. Here's an article that my darling girlfriend Maddie sent me called "I tried a vaginal alarm clock."
It's weird.
I think
this
she's
came
trying
out
to tell you what she
just
wants
before
for
Christmas.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think she's trying to tell you what she wants
Yeah, I had to get the link from her Christmas list.
Amazon wish list.
to send you an Amazon wish list with one thing on it.
It's not what it sounds. It's actually just a large vagina which eats you in the morning.
In my head, it's like that big bad Billy Bass thing on the wall.
What song would it sing?
Oh, my days. I see trees are green.
I was thinking more the 80s song, you know. When I think of you, I touch myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Very good.
Yes.
So I'm going to read you a little bit of this
Slippery when wet.
That's an album, though.
Yeah.
It plays the album in its entirety. If the vaginal alarm clock doesn't wake you up, the entirety of Bon Jovi will wake you up.
What
in the
about
morning.
Muse, Supermassive Black Hole?
That's good.
Trying to think of the other hole-related ones.
I feel
the whole
it in
hole,
my
the whole of Hole's
fingers.
back catalogue.
Hole, yeah.
That's true. I can't think of it. You're looking at me.
Because I've got nothing, so I'm just looking at you blankly.
Cherry pie.
She's my...
There's got to be loads of songs about vaginas, right?
Well, there are.
Especially subtly.
Yeah.
Cannibal Corpse have a lot of songs referencing vaginas.
They just called vagina.
No, there's a song called Addicted to Vaginal Skin.
Okay.
Obviously. Well,
It's quite quaint.
this could be one for Cannibal Corpse then.
Yeah.
So I'm to presume this goes in your vagina, this actual one.
Well, I'll read you the article. Shall
Okay.
I? Are you having troubles getting up in the morning?
Every day.
Feel free to answer.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
Is your alarm clock your worst enemy?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Can you count how many times you've hit the snooze button and you ended up being late again?
6.
Not in recent years.
Merle, obviously.
Merle.
Merle also experiences the same issues when waking up in the morning. She sells seashells down the seashore. She says she has
had oddly shaped feet.
She says she has a real alarm clock, but she immediately throws it out of the nightstand in the morning. I am going to point out that we read news sometimes from real news outlets. This is from Curious Mind magazine, which is hilarious.
Right, okay.
A reputable source.
And we read news from real news outlets, and they're not written as well as this, which is just fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
She says she has tried everything from cold showers to going to bed early. Cold showers have proved unsuccessful because she still has to get out of bed in order to get in the shower, and going to bed early is a thing she never manages to do. Do you wonder how many times she hits the snooze button? She says probably 5 to 6 times. And then it says in bold, she says she just cannot get up in the morning. Nice summarizing paragraph there.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Now, she discovered a sexy way to wake up in the morning. Namely, there are now vaginal alarm clocks that go directly under the vagina.
The vagina? I've never seen it written before.
I've heard of these things.
The vagina.
The vagine.
If you have any questions, by the way, guys, about the vagina, when we come to the end of this article, I am open to answering questions because
I've heard there's a thing called the clitoris.
As you may be able to tell, I am an expert.
Can we phone a friend and get Auntie Bram on the phone?
She might know a bit more about
Your
the
poor
vagina.
girlfriend, all these years, she's never corrected you.
Are you ready for vagina sex?
Oh, okay.
You're the kind of man that says coitus instead of sex.
No. Namely, there are now vaginal alarm clocks that go directly under the vagina called Wake Sexy, which cost around $104.
Under the vagina.
$104. I'm a little bit perplexed about this as well.
$104.
Do they know what a vagina is? Because you can't even you can go under it.
Under it, yeah.
$104. I'll do it for 20.
Under the vagina. Place it
Yeah, it's like when you blow a raspberry in their belly. Like,
Oh, fuck.
just
I'd have to brush my teeth a lot more.
the entirety of Slippery When Wet.
I thought it was cherry pie.
It's just like you're in the Bon Jovi talk box.
Maybe that's how he discovered it. Plays guitar down it.
These vagina alarm clocks
Vagina.
have vibrations that start 5 minutes before alarm time, and then the power slowly increases. They also have an option for adjusting the power of the vibrations. Merle has decided to give this vaginal alarm clock a try. She says her biggest fear is that she says her biggest fear is that she can even escape the vaginal alarm clock, and then everyone is going to know. However, after using it for several weeks, she says that she is feeling refreshed, awake, and a little dirty.
Whoa!
Ladies, what do you think? Would you give it a try?
Could there?
I'll stick it out my bum.
I'm gonna say, like, is there an alternative for men? Like, is there a sleepy time fleshlight?
You have to sleep with a flashlight on, though.
See, the
Yeah.
thing is, though,
You'd
as
have to strap it on.
Thumb your flaccid penis
As a
in
man,
As a man
Yeah.
climaxing, usually, I think, it makes me sleepier.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, that's the thing. I think you wouldn't wake up. You just wake
Well,
up and
it
go, "What
used
is
to make me feel
this?"
sleepier, but I've had to train myself to run away. So it's now like a Pavlov, like,
it. Your adrenaline
yeah, and and then wiping the mace out your eyes and trying to get an alibi.
Who invited Dean?
Did you say you like conditioned for that though? Is that why you keep ringing me up like midweek? 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Going, if anybody asks, I was with you all afternoon.
Yeah. And then you just think, player got laid.
Oh, Jesus Christ! this is going downhill fast.
So I mean, obviously there are questions. I mean, how do you place something under a vagina?
Well, I think
I don't think they know how one works, really.
I'm not sure
No.
what they do.
Is there some kind of drawer?
You can put one in it, or you can put one against it, but I don't know
Yeah.
how you put it under. If you
I
put it
think
under it,
perhaps-
you're in your bum.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe she's wearing knickers and she
Maybe.
wears it like a
that's a
sandwich
good point.
towel.
Maybe the idea isn't to bring you to climax to wake you up in the morning. Maybe it is just to
Stimulate.
Like that's sort of like a something which I could imagine would wake anyone up.
Is this a picture of
Their
it?
genitalia? No, it's not. It's just a picture at the top of the article.
Maybe it's a clip-on.
Look at you. Dom's just like, is there a picture of a vagina on this page?
I've never seen a vagina before.
Would you like to try my spectacles? Yeah, guys, maybe it's a clip-on.
What, onto your clit?
Yeah,
Oh,
a
that'd be
clit-on.
painful, wouldn't it?
Be. Yeah, well, because we've discussed before, like snoozing and trying to eliminate
Post-news.
waking up in the morning. haven't we? And I believe
It's the worst time of the day
We
for me.
came to a similar conclusion to what clearly these people who have
Stolen our idea
invented
again.
wake sexy have come to. And I believe our thing was that there was going to be some sort of pendulum in the morning that would fly down if you didn't respond to your alarm clock within sort of 15 seconds or something, which would just kick you in the nuts.
Yeah.
Like the boot in Mousetrap.
Yeah.
It would
I
have to be
remember it.
heat-seeking because I roll around a lot at night.
I think that was how
It'll find you.
Yeah, we
solved
genuinely
it.
came up. Yeah, we troubleshooted that idea already.
Yeah, we did that. Yeah, it was
A diabolical robot on tracks.
cock knock you awake in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah,
Cock
a
knock.
cock-seeking missile.
We're clearly along the same lines as the people behind Wake Sexy, except for they went for pleasure and we went for pain.
What does that say about us?
But as you say, like, you know, the thing is, like, you know, climaxing as a man generally, I think, makes most men a little bit more lethargic, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even morning sex makes you a little want to go back to sleep for an hour or two, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of want to get
Dom's
up and
never
have a
had
shower.
it.
You want to get up and have a shower?
Yeah.
Do you shower in the morning?
Yeah.
I cannot do that.
I shower in the morning.
I shower first thing, mate. It's how I get up.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Cannot do it.
It's how I feel human.
Any extra minutes that I have to wake up early, I can't do.
If I'm in a hotel, I do.
Really?
If I'm out and about, yeah.
That's odd.
Because he's wanked 8 times before.
Yeah.
Just to get rid of the evidence.
Yeah, I have to make sure
Cool
that
his penis
I have
down.
to make sure the hotel installs guttering around the bed.
Seriously, invited him.
Jesus. So we're saying good idea, bad idea. Would you like one? Would you like one for your vagina?
Well, as a man with no vagina, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
But I could place it under my penis.
Well, if it's just
Well,
going
it might
under, you could
stimulate
just,
the
you could
taint.
just, you could just tuck it
Yeah,
under your ball bag.
Yeah, I'm quite partial to a bit of ball rubbing. So if there's, those neck pillows that like kind of rotate and
Yeah.
like a miniature one. Just go and
What,
Lead
giving you
your
a good,
balls.
like, a good ball
good
massage?
little massage. Yeah, and
A ball massage.
They could check you for nut cancer as well.
Oh,
Fantastic.
that's not a bad.
Yeah.
So,
idea.
as someone who's had a lump in the last year, I'd be up for that.
But
Automated ball fondling.
what if like Westworld it just went crazy and just started to
Yeah, just like
mash it up?
just constricted.
You just got mashed potato for testicles.
Changed itself from ball massager to angel delight whisk.
Also, the thing is, like, you know when your smoke detector starts to run out of battery and it gives off an annoying
Oh,
beep.
yeah.
Like what I'm thinking about here is that at the moment I've been going into a lot of, for work, radio iodine rooms in hospitals.
Radio
Radio iodine.
Yes.
Right. So
The brown stuff.
just
Yeah.
to give you a radio iodine. So to give you a quick get up to speed on this, right? If you have thyroid cancer,
Yeah.
thyroid processes iodine. Right.
Yeah.
So to kill thyroid cancer, essentially what they do is
Radioactive
they
iodine.
radiate.
Yeah.
They make iodine radioactive, give you a large amount of iodine, which so then it pulls in your thyroid. It's radioactive, so it kills the cells, and then it kills the cancerous cells. And hopefully, it's a very good success
Very
rate.
clever, isn't it?
So clever. But the downside of that is that it's quite a high level of radiation that they're giving you. Obviously, the risk is sort of mitigated because otherwise you've got cancer.
Yeah.
So they put you in basically a lead-lined room for a period of time. So we do a lot of work with a thyroid cancer charity.
Do you emanate a lot of radioactivity then when you get this done?
Well, your
Yes.
thyroid's
Yes, you do.
full
You're
of
mega radioactive.
Yes, you are very radioactive. So they have to stay in there for sort of like the amount of time it takes to pass it, and you pass it in your sweat and your urine, and your feces.
Sure.
So you have to shower a couple of times a day, and this kind of thing.
So do people have to come in like hazmat suits to deal with you?
Well, they have big lead sort of
Those aprons.
Like they wear when they do an X-ray?
no, they don't go near them. They live in there basically. So they've got like a little ensuite, and they've got microwave and stuff like that. They get food brought in for them, but there's sort of a lead lined no, like just thing they put in front of them. You can wheel it into
Like
the
a bat
room.
shield.
Yeah, like a shield.
Because radiation only goes in a straight line, doesn't it? That kind of radiation.
I
So
thought
if
it
you've got-
emanates.
I don't think it goes round things. I think
Yeah, well, it goes in a
straight,
straight
isn't it?
line, but it's
Yeah.
going to be going out from all angles, isn't it?
As someone who kind of works in the periphery of the industry, do you find it very disappointing that we aren't seeing more superheroes?
Well, I'll tell you, I'll
Thyroid Man.
I'll give you an interesting fact about that in a moment. But right, so I'll tell you about this because they have to measure the levels of radiation, and because when it drops below a certain point, they can leave the room, and they could, after sort of the first 24 hours or something, they can have family come and visit them for sort of up to 30 minutes, but they have to stay over the other side of the room behind the LED screens and stuff like that.
How did we get from vibrating alarm clocks?
Well,
to
because
this?
I'm going to tell you this,
kids.
right? Because they use a Geiger meter to measure the radiation, right? And so what they do is they have a predetermined distance that they point the Geiger meter
right.
at them always to measure the radiation. They have to stand in the same place in the room, and then the technician, the physicist, measures the amount of radiation from a certain distance. Then they can work out how radioactive they still are.
Sure.
But in the hospitals, what they tend to do is they turn off the clicks, right? Because when you sort of see a film and you see something that's like really dangerously radioactive, and they go over it and it goes,
Yeah.
Yeah, really
that.
fast. Yeah.
yeah, that's actually not the sound of like a real high, like dangerous level of radiation. But one of the people who are in the hospital, if you pointed a Geiger meter at them, it would make that noise.
It would freak them
It
out.
would make a really. So they turn off the clicks because otherwise it would freak them out.
Fucking Hollywood.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of ruined that. Yeah. Even more concerningly is when they turn the clicks back on and they're like, yeah, no, this is the normal level of clicks. And then it starts going, oh, I've just been standing there. But the ball thing, wouldn't that just be like what I was going to?
Radiating your balls.
I was combining these two things in my head that, like, the smoke detectors where they get low on battery, like in the morning, it only take a slight malfunction, wouldn't it? And it'd go, and you'd just be like, oh no, my balls.
I see.
That was a fucking lengthy story
I
to
was
get
just
to that.
re-traveling the road in my mind.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about. I see.
But Dean, what you said about now superheroes, interestingly, this is like really like controversial. Like,
Was there a
this
spider
is-
in the room?
No.
Radioactive room?
This isn't.
Okay.
This isn't like, I'm not telling you that this is like scientific fact. Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of like contention around it in like the scientific community, but because obviously I go in these rooms like quite a bit at the moment, so I'm constantly having to get checked for radiation, like my shoes, my hands, like all my
Oh, right.
stuff.
And so you're just feeling a greater sense of justice.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, and I can hear my parents having sex in the next room.
Yeah, no one ever goes over that part of Superman's
No.
life, right?
Yeah,
Not really.
hitting Pa Kent slamming it into it.
That's why he had the heart attack.
That's why when someone goes, "Mother," like that,
That's
he
what-
goes crazy. It's like PTSD.
Why did you say that?
Yeah, you probably said it in the same voice that Thomas Wayne did.
Yeah. So obviously, like gamma radiation, the way you get sort of like cancerous cells is that you get a cell, the DNA gets mutated,
Yeah.
and sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes it can because cells they
passes on the
it
damaged
can
DNA.
sort of go exponentially, and then you start to get tumors. And radiation can obviously cause disruptions in DNA, which causes the cells to mutate. So most of the time, like if you're out in the sun, like you're getting hit with radiation, right?
That's what
So-
a tan is.
So every now and again, right, one of your strands of DNA is going to get knocked
Weirder,
off by,
yeah.
it's going to have a direct, most of it just goes straight through you. So every now and again, one of your cells is going to get mutated, right? But what tends to happen is that your body, being a fantastic fighter of these things, will kill it.
Yeah, sees a random strand of DNA and
Right.
destroys it. Yeah, sees it as an imposter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And cancer, like cancerous growth, is when it doesn't do that, right? So obviously, you guys know how sort of like vaccination works.
Yes.
So
It gives you
like,
autism.
Give like a low level. Give like a
Jenny McCarthy said so.
so it gives you like a low.
Reputable
Yeah,
source.
yeah, yeah,
Gives you like a low level of like
Yeah.
something like the
So you
flu
can
or
build up the
something like
antibodies
that.
and stuff.
So then
Yeah.
your body sort of learns how to
able to identify
combat it, right? So what they are thinking is that there was this thing that came out that said that the radiologists and the people who work with radiation in the NHS have the longest, seem to live longer, right? And so what they are proposing is that because they're around low levels of it all the time, their bodies are more used to combating this sort of mutation of DNA.
Yeah.
Because essentially that's what old age is.
Yeah. And so when it comes to your body actually, like, potentially something actually going a bit awry, like maybe if you hadn't been in contact with radiation for a career's worth of whatever, might, someone who hasn't done that might spread and turn into cancer. It might not be caught by the body, but because these people are in more contact with it, it's like their body has learned how to defeat this stuff.
So you're saying we should be irradiating our kids?
Well, this
as much as we can.
this is where, like, it becomes really contentious because sort of like that's a
how do you deploy this?
big assertion, and obviously you can't really sort of like
correlation is not,
and it's not something you can really.
It's a very difficult thing to test. You can't just sort of like start radiating people and things like that. So we obviously they keep an eye on things, and they've done it with like cells in a petri dish. Like what they've done is they exposed cells to radiate like a large amount of radiation and measured how fast they died or whatever, and then they've exposed similar cells to a low level amount of radiation and then a high amount of radiation, and they seem to do better. But like this is like again, I'm not saying that people in hospitals are telling me that the physicists are going to be the superhumans of the future that are never going to get cancer.
That they were doing this stuff in World War II. There was this I want to say Japanese. It's Japanese. There was a group called Unit 731, and they were in charge of developing.
Great band.
It's really messed up what they did. There's a bunch of films on it, and they basically were developing biological warfare. But what they would do is they would strap this poor guy down and just focus a high-level X-ray at him for hours on end, and then measure the tumors.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's absolutely brutal what they did.
No, that does not sound good.
But if you train your body to detect cancerous cells by introducing them to cancerous cells, and if you can somehow develop some kind of benign cancerous cell, like with a vaccine, I think that's fascinating.
It's interesting, right?
But what, you can vaccine for cancer?
Yeah.
I think that's been tried.
So I think the assertion is not that this could solve cancer.
Because there are so many
helps.
different kinds of cancer.
Yeah, it's certainly not saying if you sort of irradiate everybody, then we're going to be immune to cancer. But it's an interesting sort of line of inquiry to go down.
I think the problem with fighting cancer is that it's so complex and varied. No one cancer in any one person is the same.
So what you're saying is vagina alarm clocks
could solve
cancer.
Cure cancer. Okay,
that's what I got.
I think that's what we need to leave off with this.
Solved. We have solved cancer.
Do we have a problem?
That was one hell of a rabbit hole. So let's wrap it up here.
Yeah.
This has been the news that sticks for this week. As usual, you can get in contact with us by heading to stickitpod.com, where you can send us your first world problem, send us any news you think we might be interested in, and you can just generally chat to us there if you like. There's also links to all of our social media channels. Thank you to Dean for coming in once again.
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Dean will be back soon, I have absolutely no doubt, and we will be back on Thursday with our main episode. For this week, I have been Dan.
I have been Dom.
I have been Ross.
No, I've been Dean.
Ross said short and snappy at the beginning of this one. Hey ho.